Good morning, everybody. Okay, I'm gonna get started. My name's Allie, and we're doing yoga for stress relief. If you have two balls, we're gonna play with balls today. One ball will work fine, but if you have two, you might like to play with two also. So I'll give you two options to play with. A yoga tune-up ball, that's what these are. Tennis balls work great, racket balls. I've even used like a tumbler cup before. We're going to be doing this on our back. So yeah, if you have a ball, get a ball. And if you have blocks nearby, and blankets are good too. So we're going to start breathing. And sit tall. So I like to sit with my hips up on something. So this is two blankets. You could also sit on a block. You want to be comfortable. So you want to get where your bum is a little bit higher than the knees. Like I could probably even go higher. Do your best to sit tall. And you can let your eyes close or just relax your gaze. Relax the muscles around the eyes and lips. And just a reminder, this is for you. So I'm here to give you ideas and guide you, but anytime if it's not working for you, or if you're really feeling like you'd rather do something else, just do. I can't see you and I can't correct you. So just be super mindful of listening to your body. So sit tall, let your eyes close. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Get settled in your seat. On your next in-breath, grow tall, lengthen through the spine. Breathe lots of space in between the ribs. Breathe lots of space around the heart. And keep lengthening through the throat and the crown. And keep that inner lift as you exhale. Let the shoulders settle onto the back of the heart. And drop into Ujjayi Pranayama. A gentle tone in the back of the throat. You can imagine that you're fogging a mirror. But keep your lips closed. Bring your attention to the low belly, the low back, the hips, and the pelvic floor. And as you inhale, really fill that whole space. So inhaling, the pelvis broadens, the low back moves back, the belly moves forward, and the pelvic floor moves down. And as you exhale, there's a really subtle drawing in. Try not to use too much strength in your core. Try to relax your belly. So big breath in, expand through the pelvic floor, belly, pelvis, back of the waist. And big exhale. And start to notice a really tiny pelvic tilt, almost like a teeny tiny cat and cow that happens naturally with the breath. So it's really teeny tiny. It's really subtle. So you're not using your bones or your muscles, just your breath. And the next time you inhale into the low belly, pelvis, and keep moving your breath up into the space around the lungs and the ribs. Breathing into the sides of the ribs, the back of the lungs, just as much as the front. Exhale, lungs, belly. Fill the belly first, low belly and back and pelvis. Then breathe into the lungs. Then empty the lungs first, exhale. And then your pelvis. I'm going to add on, inhale into the belly, lungs, and the space around the heart. The back of the heart, breathe into the armpits and through the arms, the front of the heart. Exhale, heart, lungs, belly. Inhale, belly, lungs, heart. Exhale, heart, lungs, belly. Really try to notice all three sections. And if you tend to skip over, keep going. If you tend to skip over one, sometimes we only breathe in the chest, or we only breathe in the low belly, or we skip the middle, breathe low belly, skip the middle chest. So really trying to hit all three diaphragms. Notice the expansion and contraction of the belly and the back of the waist. Notice the rise and fall of the chest and the rise and fall of the back of the heart. And the next time you inhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart and take this time to set an intention for your practice, to make an offering or a prayer. We'll start today chanting one Om together. Take a deep breath in. Oh. Bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. Okay, we're going to start on our back with your two balls. So grab your ball, and if you only have one ball, that's fine. We're going to start at the upper back shoulders. So try, if you have two, you put two pretty high on your traps here. If you have one, we'll do this 2 times. So if you have two, we'll start at the top, work our way down. And if you have one, you'll do one side all the way down and then the other side all the way down. So 2 balls at your upper back. Lay down. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try to go from the side like this. So I'm pretty high on my upper back. A little bit of a rolling around to get there. Okay. So pretty high on my upper back and just lay down. Bend the knees. Take a deep breath. As you breathe, breathe more in towards the floor, in towards the balls. So you're trying to take a big breath into the back of your body. Use your breath to get a little more pressure. If you want a little more, you play with lifting the hips. So I'm gonna roll until the balls are kind of right at the top of my shoulders. Lift the hips. So I'm trying to lean into the balls, and then I'm just leaning a tiny bit right and a tiny bit left. So this is super intuitive. You're in charge of the pressure. You're in charge of the spot. So if you're just doing one side, you'll stay on one side all the way down to the hip and then do the second side. But we're going to start with pretty high on the upper back. Then let your bum come down and just kind of scoot yourself up an inch. You could hold your head or just let your head drop back. And then maybe scooch another inch. So I want you to try to land with the balls right in the corner of your shoulder blades. So the shoulder blade, my spine is in the middle, the balls are right next to my spine, and then my shoulder blades are right next to the balls. Take your arms straight up to the sky. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling so your shoulder blades wing apart, and then squeeze your shoulder blades down into the balls. So they might roll a little bit right and left. So I'm reaching and then just kind of getting heavy and pause. So the ball is almost like under my shoulder blade wing. Then play with a little bit of an arm circle. So if you have one ball, you'll just do one arm. Reach it up and over. This is so intense. So really, really long exhale. Take your arms the other way. Feel free to pause like in a spot that feels good. My arms don't go all the way back, so just be aware of that. You don't have to feel like you have to do this giant circle when there's a ball in the way. It's definitely a little more interesting. Give yourself a hug. Lean a little right, lean a little left. Switch the arm on top. Through. Okay, let's start working our way down. So I like to kind of just pick my butt up and roll and scooch. Pick my butt up, roll and scooch. You want to do your best to keep the balls along the spine, not too wide. So I'm trying to keep them close to the spine but not directly on the spine. And when you get to the lumbar spine, try to stay on the muscles next to the spine. Don't go into like the kidneys. You might also just like grab the balls, pick up your hips, and scooch them down. So you can kind of play with it. And then you settle, push, and move. Eventually, you're kind of on your sacrum, your low back, and maybe even your butt. You can do a little rock side to side. And then we're going to do one more round. So maybe if you had two balls, you can feel free to linger in any spot. If you just did the one ball, you basically the same thing on the second side. Also, if you do have the net, you could leave them together like this. And I can send you guys a link to the tune-up balls. I'm probably going to get a set that I can mail you guys too. They're so nice to have these. Okay, so start kind of high. Lift up your hips, lean. Maybe lean right, maybe lean left. It's a little easier to roll without them slipping around when they're in the net. Lift the hips, roll. Get to your shoulder blade area, back of the heart. Reach up and down. Big circles. Notice the sticky spot. So for me, it's like right here. I got to slow down. Big breath. Feel free to play with the spot that your ball is at. So maybe you want to go a little lower, a little higher, a little in, a little out. Long exhale. And then start to work your way down. Down. So once I get about halfway, I kind of pick up, scooch, and move it down. Eventually coming to your bum. Stay there, rock a little. Okay. So good. I love doing that one in the morning. Okay, let your ball go. Feel free to take your time if you're still kind of wrapping that up. Take your feet as wide as your mat, windshield wiper the knees right and left. Stretch your left leg long, pull the right leg in. Big circles with this right leg. And go the other way. Take the right leg straight up to the sky. Clasp your hands around the thigh. If you have a sensitive low back, bend this other leg. I'm trying to push this thigh bone forward into my hands strong. And then point and flex. And big ankle circle. Then take this knee to the side of your ribs. And I like to kind of put my elbow down and let the hand be like a kickstand. And then it's straighten the leg and bend. Also kind of grab behind the knee. Straighten the leg and bend. Stay heavy in this left hip. Straighten that bottom leg. Take the top leg all the way across into a twist. Roll all the way onto your side. Bend the bottom leg. And grab the foot. And then try to open your top shoulder into a twist. This top leg can be straight or bent, whatever you like. If you can't grab the foot, don't even worry about it. Nice giant breath in. Big exhale. Really big breath into the right belly, right lungs, right side of your heart. And then come back to center. Shake it out a little bit. Second side, pull the left leg in, big circles. Go both ways. Take that leg up, hands behind the thigh, bottom leg bent or straight, depending on how it feels on your back. Like if it's a struggle to reach up and grab, just bend the leg. Push the leg forward, strong, and then point and flex. Big circles with your ankle. Then take this leg out to the side. And I'm doing that kickstand thing with my arm. Straighten the leg, bend the leg. Straighten the leg, bend the leg. So I'm not trying to bring the leg all the way to the floor. Keep this leg heavy. And then bring it into a twist. Roll all the way onto your hip. Bend the bottom leg. Try to grab it. And then open shoulder twist. Again, this top leg can be bent or straight. Deep breath in. Long exhale. And do that again. Big breath into the left belly, lungs, and heart. Big exhale. Good. Come back to center. Make your way to seated. However you get there, you can roll to your side, or if you like to rock and roll, rock and roll. Cross your legs so you're pretty tight, kind of tight at the shins. Flex the feet and dip your head down like you're ducking underwater, and then scoop your heart forward and up. Dip down, scoop up. Then you're going to do the opposite. Let the heart lead the way and curl back. Inhale to rise. Drop your left shoulder towards the knee. So it's a twist. Drop your shoulder towards the knee, come back to center. Cross the body, just let it be kind of flowy. Cross. Okay, inhale to center, reach your arms up, clasp your fingers, but leave the pointer finger and pull yourself, like wiggle, 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 even taller. Stay heavy in the hips, so pull the ribs in, keep heavy in the hips, side bend to the right. Pull. This bottom hand is pulling the top. Giant breath into this whole left side body. From the left ribs, keep anchoring down into the hips. Giant breath in, giant breath out. Let the right hand come down. Big circles with that top arm. Bend the elbow. Go both ways. And then bend the elbow, open the chest, lean back. Exhale, twist your belly over the leg, reach forward. Inhale, open and lean back. Exhale, twist. One more, big inhale. Exhale, twist your belly over the leg, but then walk your hands back and sit tall. That right hand behind, the left hand on the thigh. Roll the shoulders back, lift your heart, and look right and left. So look right as far as you can over the shoulder. Look left. And kind of pause where it's a little bit of a stretch, like your edge. Pause. And then inhale back to center. Switch the leg that's in front, clasp your fingers, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle taller. Side bend to the left, pull the bottom hand, ribs in, anchor the pelvis, giant breath into the right lungs. Pull with the bottom hand. Left hand down, big circles with that top arm. Think about shoulder range of motion. Go the other way. And then open, close, bend the elbow open, lean back. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Twist. Pull your hands back so you're sitting tall. Roll the shoulders back. And then do a little half circle. Or maybe it's just like a little up and down. Any little neck rolls that feel good. Good. Come back to center. Come to hands and knees. Spread your fingers. Tuck your toes. Take a few rounds of cat and cow. Keep going. Inhale your heart forward. Exhale, bow in. A couple more. Then bring it into the ribs. So drop your rib cage down, over to the left, round up to the sky, over to the right. So your torso's in the middle of a peanut butter jar, and you don't want to miss any edges. So slow down. For me, it's like this upper corner where it feels like you want to skip. And then go the other way. Good. And then walk your knees back a little bit. Big circles with the hips. So this is really intuitive. So I like to close the eyes. Don't really think too hard about what you're doing. Maybe it's a little more of a forward and back. Maybe it's a zigzag or a figure eight. Just keep your hands strong, your arms strong. And just explore shapes in the rest of the body. Then keep your knees over the hips. Walk your hands forward. So your arms are like downward dog, but you're on your knees. Hands really strong, puppy pose. Deep breath in, ribs in, and then walk your hands over to the right. Really reach through the left hand a lot. And then take this shape and do a little cat and cow. And then walk back to center. Inhale, other side. So hips are over the knees, but then cat and cow in this shape. Back to center. Take a downward facing dog. Spread the fingers or reach your hips up and back. Spread the toes. Push your handprints down and forward. Bend one knee and the other, but use this to stretch the toes. So the leg that's bending, I'm really playing with stretching the toes. A lot of times I focus more on the straight leg, but this time I want you to focus more on the bent leg and stretching the toes. Then do both together. So heels really high, heels down. Just think about stretching the toes, especially the big toe. Okay, come forward to plank. Let the knees come down. Lower down really slowly so you're working your arm strength. Slow, slow, slow. Slow motion. Inhale into a cobra. But let's take the hands wide. Come onto your fingertips. Inhale. And then add a little twist. So drop one shoulder. Come back to center. Drop the shoulder. Cross the body. And then back to center. Come all the way down. Make a pillow with your hands. Just pause. Wiggle out the hips. Take a really big breath in. Feel your belly push into the ground as you breathe. Big exhale. As you breathe in, belly's pushing down, but see if you can get more space in the back of the waist. And then just let your heart soften as you exhale. One more. Okay, come up to hands and knees. Take your right foot behind you with the toe down, and you're just doing like a calf raise. So a little rock forward and back. Then lift that foot up and over behind, and you're looking at the foot and a little cat and cow. It's like you won't be able to go quite as far, but play with a little pelvic tilt. Then let the knee land. So my legs are crossed. And big circles here. So you can rock your hips right and left, go forward and back. Then the leg that's behind, bring it back to alignment with your hip as high as your hip. So flex the foot. My knee and toe are pointing down, so I'm not trying to open. And the ribs stay in the body. So inhale, pull your heart forward, but keep the ribs in. Exhale, curl into a tiny little ball, round your back. Inhale, open your shape. Keep the ribs in the body as you drag your heart forward. Use the gripping of the mat to pull your heart forward. Kick the leg back. Exhale, curl in. You're trying to stretch out into a long spine, not an arched spine. One more like that. Your left butt is holding you stable. It should be working really hard. Try not to lean into that left side. If you want more, the left arm extends. Curl in. Plenty of work without adding the arm. One more. Okay, kick the leg back. Bend the knee like you're making a footprint on the ceiling. Take the left arm behind and you try to grab your foot. If you can't grab it, no worries. Just play with the balance. If you can grab the foot, pull the heel to your butt. So you're working a quad stretch. Then the right leg comes down, just wherever it lands, open up, twist. Come back to center, left hand down, big circles with that right knee. Yes, my left butt is ready to be done. Go both ways with your knee. And then this little right foot, step it forward. Whew. The outside of your hands. So your hands are right under your chest. Lizard. Foot's kind of wide. Scoot your back knee back. And just back and forth with the hips. Inhale the heart forward, hips forward. Exhale, kind of like a wide half split. If you need extra padding on your knee, just slide a blankie under there. Or a little pillow. Okay, back to your lunge. Right arm open. Inhale. Exhale. Wrap yourself around the leg. Inhale to open. Exhale, wrap. One more. Optional to lift the back leg. Same thing. And let the back knee come down. If you took it up, step back. Big hip circles. Shake it out. Child's pose. Pull your bum all the way back to your heels. You can take the block under the forehead or make a pillow with your hands. But I want you to be able to let your forehead land with your bum all the way back. So sometimes I stack my fists. Relax your shoulders, relax the muscles next to your neck. Feel your ribs press into the thighs as you breathe. Let your heart soften as you exhale. Do that again. Good. Come up to hands and knees. Second side. So left foot back. Just start with that calf raise, a little stretch for your calf. Pull the ribs in the body. Pull your heart forward. Lift the foot. Ooh, do this one first. Kick up and over. And then a little pelvic tilt here, a little cat and cow. Then take it up as high as your hip. Notice if this right hip wants to lean. You got to hug it in, ribs in, kick your foot back, knee and toe point down, grip the mat, pull your heart forward without arching. Ribs in, drag your heart forward, exhale, curl. Inhale, keep the ribs in, pull your heart forward, shoulders behind, exhale. Round. Optional to add right arm lifting. Okay, hold, kicking back, bend your knee, push up towards the ceiling, re-engage that right butt. Left arm lifts. Maybe it grabs the foot. Pull the heel into your butt. Think more about quad stretch and shoulders back than really big back bend. So I'm pulling the heel into my butt, but trying to grow my knee longer. Then the knee just lands where it lands. Open your chest, lean back. We forgot this one. So cross that knee behind, rock around. Okay, now take that big circles with the left leg, up and around. Go both ways. Probably feeling your right butt. Step forward, lizard. If you have blocks, they go right under your shoulders or your chest. A lot of times people do it, the blocks too wide, so keep them right under you. Hips forward and back. Okay, then open and close. Left hand opens up to the sky, and then give yourself a hug, curl in. Inhale, optional to lift the back leg. Exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. Okay, from here, step your back foot forward, forward fold. Bend the knees a lot. Let your ribs land on the thighs and relax your head and neck. So lift and spread the toes. Make your feet really strong. And then we're going to play with rocking back on the heels. So lift your toes, lift your feet as much as you can, and then spread your toes like you're stepping in mud. Squish your footprints down. Rock back. And you can do this with bent knees. You don't have to straighten your legs. So bend your knees, but keep reaching your bum up. Lift your toes and foot. Squish it down. Add on. Toes squish down. Lift your heels as high as you can. Watch your ankles wobble. Try to keep them stable. Try to make it as big as you can. Lift the toes. Spread the toes when you push them down. Lift your heels as high as you can. You're stretching the big toes, all the toes. One or two more. Good. Okay, feet down. Bend your left knee. Left hand stays down. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Make a fist. I'm going to move my camera. That top arm is reaching up. Make a fist. You're standing, but I want you to see my hand. Make a fist and then really big circles with your wrist. Like this. Big circles. Go the other way. And then switch. Right hand down. Bend the right knee. Left arm up. Make a fist. Circle. Just look up or down. Whatever feels good. Okay, close. Come halfway up, inhale, reach your heart forward. Keep the ribs in the body and really strong on the backs of the legs. Exhale, bend the knees, fold over the legs, the head drops last. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Exhale, fold over the legs. You can also have hands on your shins if you don't have the blocks. You can also have a chair or any furniture. Okay, get ready to stand. Hands on the hips. Point the elbows up to the sky. Inhale to stand. Bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Take a deep breath in. Just pause and check in. Notice your feet connecting to the earth. Notice your heartbeat. Notice your breath. Notice any sensations in the body. And gently open the eyes. I'm going to play with a little balance. See if I can bring this up a little more. There we go. Okay, so you're going to take your blocks too. And you might have a chair, you might stack your blocks. So I'll show you what we're going to do and then we can play with it together. So it's a quad stretch, balancing, and then you try to hinge, touch your blocks or your chair, and stand. So let's get there slowly. But that's why you'll have the blocks or, for example, a chair. I can show you that too. Side. Okay, so spread the toes, strong feet. You want to be on pretty flat ground. If your mat's really squishy, step off your mat. So grab the right foot, pull the heel into your butt, bend the bottom leg. So that might be a little, like plenty of work. If you're playing with the hinging, reach your butt back like I'm sitting back in a chair. I don't want to have a locked knee on this leg. So the bending will help my pelvis move so I can hinge and grab the block. But the work is playing with going up and down. So if you were to use a chair, you can have your hand on the chair and just play with like a little letting go and just use it when you need to. Stand back up. If you're pretty good at this, you'll go lower. Play with touching a lower block. One more option to play with here is half moon while you're holding the foot. So you play with opening the hip and try not to let this bottom knee follow your face. Maybe you're lower, maybe you're higher. Top shoulder rolls back. Quad stretch. Don't worry so much about a big back bend. Think more about stretching the front of the thigh. Okay, let that leg go. Whew. Shake it out. Let's stand up and just rock the hips around. Second side, spread the toes. Get strong in both legs before you grab the foot. Grab the foot when you're ready. Hug it in. Also pay attention to the foot likes to curl into the midline, so karate chop it away from your midline. So the ankle is strong. So furniture is an excellent tool. Use it if you like. And I like to play with a lot of like holding it, but then flirting with letting go. So blocks are down under your shoulder or you're holding on to the couch next to you. Play with up and down. Bottom leg has a bend in the knee so that I can move my pelvis. Keep the ribs in. And keep the heart open. Looking around is going to be more challenging. So finding a spot on the ground that doesn't move. It's a lot of work for that standing leg. So just play with it. Okay, if you want to play with opening, you can hang on to the chair. Go a little lower. So this bottom leg, try not to move it. The toe likes to turn, the knee likes to turn. It's still forward, knee and toe are still forward while I open the top leg. Shoulders back, heel to your butt, grow your knee longer. Woo, that's a lot. Okay, come out, shake it out. Okay, let me check on the time. Okay, let's finish with, we're gonna finish with two like relaxing, restful poses. One of them, you're gonna either use a wall or a chair. We'll start with that. The other one, you'll want a blanket or two. Okay, so first one, legs up the wall or legs on the chair. So if I'm in my living room, I just swing my legs up on the couch. Roll onto your side. And you want to have like a chair that's pretty much as high as your knees. You could also put your feet on the door is right here and my legs are up against the wall or a door. Either way. What you want to feel is the femur bone settling deep into the pelvis. Your hands can be on your belly or out to the side, or one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Relax your jaw. You can let your eyes close. Feel gravity helping your leg bones settle. Feel gravity moving the blood down into all these organs. Relax the muscles that don't need to be working, like your face, your jaw, your cheeks, muscles around your neck and throat. Breathe into the belly, lungs, heart. Exhale, heart, lungs, belly. Two more. Inhale, belly, lungs, heart. Exhale, heart, lungs, belly. Just return to normal breathing. We'll stay here for another minute. Inhale into your belly, lungs, heart. Exhale, heart, lungs, belly. You're welcome to stay here if you're feeling good. I'm going to share one more restorative variation. So roll to your side. And you'll want a blanket or two. I'm going to bring to our upper back, actually our whole spine. So you'll take your blanket about this wide and either fold it in half. It really just depends on how thick your blanket is. Or you can do like a trifold. So this is going to go on our spine. And I want a little more. So I'm going to do 2. Okay, so you want the nice edges, if you use 2, to be together. And you do your best to make it like pretty sturdy and not just this big floppy blob. Like make it pretty sturdy. Your bum goes on the floor and your shoulders will go on the blanket. So if you have a really sensitive low back, scooch more forward and you want this to land closer to the bottom of your ribs. If your low back, if you like a bigger back bend, scooch this all the way up to your bum. So I need to scooch my bum down and keep it a little higher on my back. And then once you lay, take the blanket and do just this little inchworm to give yourself a little bit of a pillow. Optional. You can see if you like that. Arms go at your side, feet apart, knees together. 1. Feet together, knees apart. 2. Or stretch the legs straight, relax. Your feet apart, flop your legs apart, rest. So we're resting here in Shavasana, wherever is comfortable for you, or your legs are up the wall or on the chair still. Relax your fingers and your toes. Soften your jaw and your tongue. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And let go again. Bones heavy. Skin soft. Mind spacious. Resting. Shavasana. Breathe into your belly, your lungs, your heart. As you exhale, gently wiggle fingers and toes. Reach your arms overhead. Take a lazy stretch. And bend your knees or rest on your side. Make your way to seated as you're ready. Sitting tall. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And take a moment to notice the effects of your practice. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. May you be happy and peaceful, healthy and strong, safe and protected. And may all beings benefit from your yoga practice. Thank you for coming. Namaste.